Right, let's get stuck in. Lee-Ann, Jon.
What's up?
Hi.
You right?
I'm well. Welcome to the Your PT pod. I've been so excited for today. It's an absolute pleasure to have you both in the office. And it's actually the first time we've interviewed two people in one go. So, yeah, this will be interesting today. But I can't think of two better personalities to have in front. So, today is all about kind of giving some insights to personal trainers about what reality is in the fitness industry. I know you've both come from different sectors before personal training. So it'd be interesting to dive into that today and to understand what best practice looks like. And nowadays you're doing a lot more online coaching.
Yeah.
So that would be fantastic and a really fascinating insight, I think, for some of the listeners to tap into your knowledge base. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay, so with no further delay, let's do introductions. So, Jon, if you want to just say a little bit about your background, what you were doing prior to PT.
All right. So, Jon Radnidge. And so we're originally from South Africa. And Lee-Ann and I met in college, came over to the UK just to travel around a little bit. But, I mean, back in South Africa, my dad was a bodybuilder. He lived in Wales. He was Mr. Wales, Mr. Europe.
Oh, wow,
he
really?
The NABA and everything like that. He was a really good bodybuilder. It's funny now, like even around here, like I've only lived in I've been back here for a few years and people hear my name, they know straight away, like, oh, you Don Radnidge's boy. And it's like, hey, so, But so growing up, he was always like the big dad, like the big scary dad in the school. I think he was in a couple of comps with like Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day as well, So that was like my claim to fame, to say to people like,
That's the proper bodybuilding era as well, yeah?
That's like before he was in the movies and all that. So it was really cool. So training's always been there a little bit. I think when I got into training back when I was about 17, 18, it's just because like my buds and I were going to a rave for the weekend, so I get the weights for the week or get in shape for the upcoming rave, go to the rave and then just like not train anymore, all went to shit a little bit after that, kind of like up and down with it. But I think once we moved over here, we just sort of plan was just to travel around a little bit, save some money up, go back to South Africa. But we just enjoyed living in the UK and then came down to Wales where my family's originally from. Lee-Ann loved the Welsh and she decided she wanted to stay here.
Yeah.
Just picked up from there, isn't it? Just had some odd jobs, started working in Admiral Insurance, like I think majority of people in Swansea end up doing. But started picking up my training myself, kind of like learning my own way. And I think it's like guys like our age, we had to figure out ourselves a little bit, isn't it? It's like, we're all doing that same routine that we read in Flex magazine like 10 years ago. So
10 sets of 10 wins the day, doesn't it?
Every slight bit of information, how to get the biggest arms. That's what you did for like 4 months afterwards. But so just kind of, it was never like in my mind to be a PT. A lot of people started like saying, oh, you should do coaching, you should do this and that. I was like, nah, writing plans, diets out for anyone that asked, was happy to do that. But then Lee-Ann works in Admiral as well. She ended up getting a really good job with Dr. Organic, and it kind of like opened up some doors there to just kind of move on a little bit. So ended up getting qualified, took a massive gamble, just came up Simply Gym. I think you were running things at the time.
We'll touch on that, yeah.
Took a chance on me, and then just the rest is history, man. It just took off in a really good way. I almost feel like I got in at the right time, I think. It was kind of the gym itself needed someone who was more kind of like building centered. It's just gone from strength to strength. Just feel blessed.
It's been amazing watching your journey, Jon and Lee-Ann. It's been amazing to see how you've developed as fitness professionals and have really kind of honed in on your target audience as well. You're both career changers, essentially. So yourself then, Lee-Ann, you've come from the Admiral background, Dr. Organic. What sort of environment was that? Was it sales?
So Dr. Organic was dealing with like people's complaints. So, they'd have like a skin reaction to one of the creams or something. So they'd phone me up or they'd write me a letter. And then I would have to like explain the reasons why. And so, it was a lot about dealing with complaints for certain things. So completely out of my comfort zone. But I did really enjoy it. It's such a good company to work for.
Yeah.
The only reason I left there was because I fell pregnant with our second son.
Yeah.
And in order for me to make enough money, putting him into childcare, I mean, I was just not going to make anything. So I needed something that I could kind of be my own boss.
Yeah.
And do things a little bit differently. So I thought, well, this is my perfect opportunity now to actually do something that I'm passionate about.
Love that. Yeah.
And seeing Jonathan and how well he was doing with his online transformations, I was like, I 100% want to do the same, you know? So I kind of jumped on the bandwagon with him. And then, I like from my own transformation, I think that's what drew girls in, because I was a bigger girl when I was younger. I had lost a lot of weight myself. And, you know, so many girls are like, oh, how did you take so long to lose all that weight? Well, for me, it took a long time because I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying like Zumba DVDs, and I was just like, you know, starving myself, then not eating, you know, it was just like anything I could think of, anything to try. I just had no clue what to do.
Yeah.
So it took me quite a while, but once I knew how to do it properly, I mean, it was such a game changer then.
Yeah.
And girls seeing that transformation in me, you know, they saw, well, it's not just a skinny girl losing some weight. It was a girl that was quite big, losing a lot of weight. That was something that was, you know, close to them then. And that's how I was able to get my girls.
It's amazing. And it's so important, I think, having been through the journey of a weight loss journey or a body transformation journey, you can resonate with your clients. It helps you get onto that personal level.
Funny thing about it, though, was like Lee-Ann, at that point, before we'd had our second son, she had actually competed as well. She'd like become a pro athlete for Miami Pro, like done like, you know, competed and all that. And so when I started coaching, every girl that signed up with me was like, right, I want you to make me look like your wife. I was like, all right, yeah, cool. So that took off with as far as female clientele goes. But then as soon as Lee-Ann started coaching, all those females disappeared from me, all flooded to her instead. So it balanced out in the end, I suppose.
We helped each other out. I mean, a lot of like my knowledge I got from Jonathan with training. I didn't have a clue with training. I mean, oh my gosh, when I was younger, I hated any kind of fitness. It was, if I look back now when I was a kid and someone said you're going to be a personal trainer, no way.
Really?
I hated fitness. I was so unfit, didn't have a clue. But then obviously seeing Jonathan training, he helped me loads. You know, it just all fell into place then. So yeah.
That's amazing. And such a great sort of example of seeing success and then following it. I think a lot of personal trainers who are successful in the industry have seen success to a degree, maybe with a friend or a colleague or another personal trainer in their gym, but being in the same household,
exactly.
Seeing Jon obviously progress and build this fantastic reputation locally as the go-to personal trainer must have been really inspiring.
Oh, no, I loved it. And, you know, like, we just wanted more. I said, you know, instead of just doing like PT now, we should do the online, and we should, you know, just try, because there's only so many people you can do when you're personal training, and especially if you like tied to a gym, there's only so many people that you're going to be able to PT. But like when you're doing online, you can coach anyone from anywhere in the world. So we were getting people from South Africa, Australia, I mean, all over the place. So yeah.
Yeah, and we'll dive into that, because I think you guys are testament to following the correct pathway of learning your trade, understanding how it is to deal with clients on a one-to-one basis in the physical presence, and then using all that knowledge and experience to develop your online brand. So I think a lot of personal trainers maybe kind of go too quickly into online training and have maybe not learned the raw fundamentals of what it takes to become a successful PT. But we'll dive into all of that today. Okay, Jon, we'll go back to yourself. So we first knew each other back in 2018, believe it or not.
That's crazy.
Simply Gym in Llansamlat opened up, which I think was a bit ahead of its time. It was one of the first sort of budget gyms, wasn't it, in the area? It was a cool facility,
It was nice, Good vibe in there, isn't it? I know a lot of people miss that old gym. Like, Dan Ahern running the show as well. He's a tidy boy, isn't he?
Dan was amazing. You know, great guy, gym manager at the time as well. Dan's not in the sector anymore, sadly. And I wanted to ask you that question. So traditionally our industry has lost good people, for maybe lack of reward, maybe sometimes. But it's such a shame in my eyes to see such good talent like Dan leaving the industry.
Yeah.
But what's your perception on it? What do you think?
I think because my thought would be just how many gyms have actually opened up since then, isn't it? When you think about it, there's just a gym on every corner around you now. So back then you'd have, I think we had Life Gym just up the road from it. But yeah, it was pretty much Simply Gym and Kicks out in Quasinen. That was pretty much it. And now you just got a gym on every corner. I don't know. That's once it becomes a bit of a revolving door for staff members and so on. Like as you said, there's just not much reward. There's not much progression you can go on from there. So yeah, I'm not sure. Just
it's a shame. I think in operations, I found it myself actually. So prior to becoming a fully self-employed PT, I was running health clubs, and I got a bit bored of running health clubs. So there may be a lack of reward, but boredom second in as well, which is not a good place to be, is it?
Yeah, I think someone with Dan, again, the guy was just really skilled, very clever, very switched on, and I don't know, maybe just there wasn't enough room for progression in that particular gym. He could have probably gone on to run a few big things in regards to the gym, but yeah, he's obviously been headhunted in the right way, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And for what it's worth, I think he's doing very well in the sector he's in now, which is no. I'm not surprised by that for sure. But yeah, I think Dan made the introduction, and I remember our first interaction. You came into Clan Samlet, and just after 10 seconds of speaking to you, I was like, this guy gets it. He totally understands personal training.
Yeah.
He totally gets it. I was blown away really by your character and your enthusiasm, and coupled with your experience in sales, I thought, undoubtedly, this guy can make a success of personal training.
Yeah.
Do you think the sales background was helpful to you, Jon, in the early days?
Probably, yeah. Actually, just kind of tweaking the way you communicate with different types of people. I think it was just kind of like the passion. Coming into being a PT was kind of so out of the blue all of a sudden. It's like, right, should I just go for it? Let's do it, And then I didn't even know what the procedure would be. Like, I spoke to Dan. I said, look, Dan, I'm thinking about doing this. What's your thoughts? Do you think I'd have a spot in Simply? And he's just straight away like, Jon, come here. I'm going to speak to James Lorey. You're going to get straight in. Trust me. And I'm thinking, right, I'm going to have to come for this whole audition now, do some fake plan and all that kind of thing. But now I sat down and spoke to you. Just kind of, I think it just came across. Like I said, I think I just got in at the right time. There was just not that much as far as PTs progressing in that way, and the gym itself wasn't really a bodybuilding PT in the gym at that time either. And like I said, just probably the enthusiasm shined through. I don't know. I think it was a bit of the gift of the gab when I did chat to you. I don't know, but just seems to work out.
Yeah, it definitely helps. I think you've got to be personable as a personal trainer. You've got to have a personality, haven't you? Because ultimately, your clients, or your potential clients, are looking at how you conduct yourself, how you communicate. And I'm a firm believer in training has to be quite fun as well.
Yeah.
You don't want to be bored to death.
No.
You want a PT counting reps.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You've got to mix things up a lot.
Yeah, I think a lot of people dive into it a little bit too headstrong at first. Like you're going to get a new client in, and you're going to expect them to be smashing out PBs from the get-go and all that. And then I think it's quite intimidating for anyone. I think anyone who does sign up for a PT in the first place is going to be someone that's not confident in their training, mostly.
Yeah.
So if you're just getting someone in straight away from the get-go, expecting them to squat to depth, shoulder press with full depth and all the way up and all that, just little things like that. So you got to know how to tailor around that. You got to know how to make them feel comfortable. You got to know how to sell, sticking to a diet and getting into the gym every day, and just selling the rewards, but helping them understand the procedure to get there. I think
it's interesting you say that, Jon. So I think a lot of PTs can sometimes fall down by looking for perfection in their clients. So you've adopted a stance, I assume, of a start is a start.
Yeah.
So it might not be the final perfect version,
but
we're going to go on a journey and develop to the best form and critique and
exactly.
And that side of it.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. And from your experience in the gym, from an early perspective, were there any sort of areas that you needed to fill gaps, or any things that you found particularly useful in the early days of generating your client base? Because it's hard starting off self-employed.
I think I was pretty loud in the gym. That was a big selling point. I made myself seen. So Simply Gym had like classes in the gym, and I used to assist with those. So it would be like a synergy kind of thing, like, I don't know, kind of like CrossFit-y kind of stuff, whatever. But there again, you'd have all sorts of people coming. You'd have the fit people, you'd have the people who kind of out of shape and all that. But I kind of like did the whole drill sergeant thing with them, really loud, like really strict, but at the same time personable as well. Like learned everyone's name that came to the class. If it was someone new, I'd go and ask them what their name is. I look after them, find out if they, used to training or done a class, kind of tailor the class, certain parts of the class to them. So I think it is just kind of making yourself seen, not being like the usual, like head down, scowly, roid head looking, invisible lad syndrome kind of guy walking around. But I think it was just being more personable, being approachable, and kind of like making people feel comfortable around me. And it did go a long way. It was mad. It's like a lot of the early clienteles that I did get were people signing up after doing those classes with me. Even when I eventually could stop doing the classes because the client base got so big, like a lot of the people actually stopped going to the classes even after that. So definitely made an impact or something like that. So I suppose just getting your name out there, getting yourself seen as much as you can, and sticking out basically.
There's a lot of great lessons there, and I remember that unfolding in real time. Actually, it's hard to commit your time to the classes when your client book is getting full. But arguably, Jon, one of the best opportunities to expose your services in the early days. And
I think it can be, you got to leave your ego at the door a bit. It's easy to like sign up, become a PT in the gym. They want you to help out with classes and thing. And initially you can't think, look, I'm too good for that. And, but leave your ego at the door. You've got to let yourself grow as a trainer as well. And I also learned a lot from doing those classes too, learning what people are actually capable of, how hard you can push them and so on, and that also like, translates into like direct personal training. But it was just like I say, just good learning curve for me.
I love it. And the same applies, I guess, to like consultations. I think as fitness professionals, we offer a lot of free kind of opportunities, don't we, in the early days? So that can be quite laborious. It can take a lot of time out of your schedule. But ultimately, every time you're delivering your service, you're sharpening your tools, you're getting a little bit better. So I think there's a lot to be said in the early days for PTs.
100%,
Okay, so as your business started to flourish then, Jon, mindful you're balancing work life with family life. So how did you navigate that part of your career development?
It took a while. It was tough. I mean, like getting up at 3:00 in the morning, basically, just get my food prep all done and be in the gym for 6 a.m., to make sure I was awake and I was sharp at that time. Just so that, things like food prep at that time in the morning sounds silly, but it just means I'm not doing my food prep in the evening because sometimes I might be having to PT in the evening. So whatever time free I can have from something like that, was being with the family. I think when I started PTing, my little boy was only 5 years old as well, so juggling all school runs, things like that as well. But you know what? It's hard. When you look back now, like so much has happened just in those years. It's kind of hard to put yourself back there and just really figure out where it came from. Obviously, Lee-Ann supporting me was a massive thing as well, her understanding.
Just get it done though, don't you? Ultimately, just get it done.
Anything that happens, if you've got a full-time job, if they change your shifts and so on, it's daunting at first, but you just make it work, you're adaptable. So things just kind of moved with the times and it just seemed to work.
And how about from your perspective, Lee-Ann? Obviously you were working with Dr. Organic at the time, managing the household, raising the lads.
Well, so I was pregnant with Grayson. Obviously we had Easton, and then I fell pregnant with Grayson. So obviously we only just had Easton to look after. But we would have to literally be like passing ships, me and Jonathan. It was like military operation at 1400 hours. This is done, Otherwise it just wouldn't get done. And also what's really hard for us is that we don't really have a lot of family here. So everything was literally just down to me and Jonathan. So, it been difficult, but like Johnson says, you will make a plan, you will find things that work, and maybe you try something else and it doesn't, but you try something else out then. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I suppose communication is critical in that situation as well, as understanding what stresses and pressures each individual is under and navigating them together.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's quite a unique setting, actually. So for a husband and wife to essentially run a business together now,
absolutely,
is fantastic, and it's testament to your hard work and endeavours. So it's great to see. But I mean, I've had a quick check on like social media for both of you, and what comes across in every post that I see is that you genuinely care about your clients.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of care there. So where does that come from your perspective, Lee-Ann?
I'm not like someone that just wants loads of business and then, someone's just a number at the end of the day. Like everyone that signs up, I do try, because they sign up with me for a reason. They've seen all my other client results. They want those results. They pay me for those results. So I've got to be strict, and I've got to be, I've got to do the best that I can. And if I'm just saying, yeah, that's fine, go drink on the weekend, don't worry, we'll do better next week. That's not what they pay me for. They're not going to get the results that they've paid for. So that's why I do care so much about them. And it's not that I'm like just super strict and super harsh on them. I want them to have that transformation photo at the end of the challenge and be like, oh my gosh, I look and feel absolutely amazing. Some girls say, it's completely changed their lives. They've got confidence now. I've got girls that message me that have been with me like a couple of years ago that still message me and like, Lee-Ann, we still use your bolognese recipe and look how much weight I've still kept off, So I've made really, really good friends along the way. I do try and make it as personable as I can.
And when does it start? Does that start with painting the picture of what the end result looks like and almost creating boundaries and the roadmap to get there?
So, right in the beginning, when we send out the questionnaire, we'll say we want your start photos and we want photos of what you ideally want to look like. Okay. So those two straight away is going to, number one, is going to give them a kick up the bum to say, well, this is what you look like now, because a lot of people don't actually know what they look like without actually taking the photos. Yeah. And number two, this is what I want to look like. So, you know what the end goal is. And then we send out the terms and conditions like, look, you've got to give us everything you've got now in this plan. We will support you as much as we can, but then you've also got to buy into it and you've got to give us everything. And I promise you do that, you will have the best transformation. And you can see by all the clients that we've had, it does work. It's not just some magic science that we've come up with. It's just your basic, train hard, eat well, do your steps, drink your water. That is basically it. And that's how we get the best from our clients then.
Love it.
Sorry. We're not just like really yes man coaches, really. We're not going to just say like be a cheerleader for a client. I think from the get go, I think they realize that we set high expectations of them. It's not just a case of right, if you don't give a shit, then we don't give a shit. So I'm swearing here, but it's like, if I get my first check-in from someone and, how was your diet? Good. How's training? Fine. I'll call them out and say, look, man, what do you expect me to do from this? I'm here to help you. This is data I want to get the best out of this for you. And I think a lot of them get taken aback by it because they realize like, wow, like, I could this guy could easily just say, yeah, cool, carry on, and they're getting paid for it. But we'll really, really push them to like up their game in every way they possibly can, communication-wise. Just with everything. I've had guys where I've threatened to end the coaching just because, every week I'm like, look, right, it just seems like you're not into this. I'm not getting anything from you. And again, I think they take a step back there. They look at themselves like, right, this guy is investing a lot into me. Yeah. So I'm going to invest a lot back into him. And I think when they do realize that there is a genuine care there, because it is a nice feeling. When you get someone, you can see when someone's just genuinely had their life changed and they're coming out like a completely happy person from that day one picture to that final picture. Yeah. and it's rewarding, and we do like to get that out of our people. But yeah, it will come with us being a bit like arseholeish here and there sometimes, but just being straight, isn't it? I'm parenting them,
yeah. It's absolutely necessary. You're not allowing your clients to let themselves off the hook.
Yeah,
that's easily done.
Being a family unit as well, we're very loving with our boys, we're very loving with each other as well, and I think that just kind of feeds into the way we actually do look after our clients as well.
Yeah. And I guess they don't want to let you down as well.
Yeah.
It's getting that buy-in early, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
And it seems to me that this extends far beyond physical activity.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're looking after the physical provision in your gym. You've got a home gym. You work out of a local gym as well. But you're looking at lifestyle, yeah? You're looking at nutrition.
Yeah. Okay. I think a lot of, for me, a lot of girls, when they leave my session, they're like, oh, I've had my therapy for the week. Thank you, Lee-Ann. And then off they go. It's not just, no one is like obese or overweight just because they like food. There's a lot more going on there. Yeah. So you've got to find out what's, you're not going to be there to like cure all their issues and stuff. But sometimes just listening to what they say, and finding out every week, like, oh, how's that situation? And it's more than just like training them in the gym. You've got to make it individual to that person. And I've had so many girls, I cannot tell you, who were full-blown alcoholics starting with me. And because I had the no drink rule in place from day one, I'm not saying it's forever, but when you do your first block with me, that is rule number one. You cannot drink alcohol. You've got to give this everything, because there's just so many, bad things when it comes to drinking. It's not just the one drink. It's the day after. You don't want to train. Your body doesn't work the way it should, building muscle, burning fat, building muscle. So it's not just about the calories in alcohol. For me, it's a lot more.
Yeah.
And if you signed up for like an 8-week challenge and then you drink in for like 3 weekends, well, you've just gone and thrown all your money away. You're not going to get those results. But having that as such a rule from day one, how many women now have not touched alcohol for years? Like, I've had a lady that's not touched it for a whole year since being with me. And she's just like completely changed her life. And because I put that, and I was so strict on it from day one, she's like, okay, I'm going to try it and see what happens. And she's like so fit, so healthy, so happy. So yeah.
That's breaking long-term
absolutely
issues and challenges for people, isn't it? And I couldn't agree more. I've actually had an insight recently of how much alcohol affects my body.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if you're familiar with the Whoops, but I've started using the Whoop band.
Okay.
And it messes my sleep up, something terrible. I never thought of it like that before, but it does make a big...
Like with Jonathan and I, we don't say like, right, you can never drink alcohol, because that's not feasible. But what we say is, when you sign up for a challenge, we don't want alcohol in that challenge. We don't say like you can never do it again, but give this everything you've got.
Yeah.
See what you can actually do by doing it 100%. And then after that, then go and enjoy yourself and make it more of a lifestyle thing.
Yeah.
That's what we say. But yeah, it is people that have like full on issues. I think especially, I don't know, Wales and Swansea, I think it's just crazy. Alcohol's just like you're telling them to give up their firstborn, It's like, I'm not going to give up alcohol. It's really hard to break that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's an interesting place, isn't it, Swansea? I mean, we celebrate Beaujolais Day,
oh my gosh, anything.
You got to Cardiff the next day and ask what they did for Beaujolais Day. They don't understand what you're saying. They've never heard of it before.
The only place on the planet that celebrates it for whatever reason. I'm sure there's a story there, but
yeah.
I think our main thing as well is like, it's almost like it's lifestyle coaching that we're looking to do. Yeah. And a big part of that, if you're really looking to help someone, you're actually helping them. You're not just trying to help them get a good transformation after 12, 16 weeks. You're trying to help them develop good habits in their life. We want to see these people, like Lee-Ann said, massively rewarding for someone at the end say they don't even want to touch another drop of alcohol. I don't like to be one of these coaches there. I'll be this coach who will teach you don't have to give up your social life on the weekend and all that. It's just all bollocks. Like, it's marketing tactics. We can all work out the whole if it fits your macros kind of thing. But at the end of the day, if you're really looking for like real serious results to feel more healthy, get better, then you want to create good habits in someone. And we just get quite strict with it when it comes to things like that. And it works. It does work.
It does work.
Yeah. Well, the images and the testimonials speak for themselves, don't they? And I mean, it's science at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
So it makes a lot of sense. You mentioned earlier when you onboard a new client, they're signing up to T's and C's essentially. They're
Yes.
almost making a pledge,
Yes.
you know, that they're going to be committed to this thing.
Yeah.
What other sort of T's and C's do you sort of insist upon when you bring a new client on board?
Nothing in particular
I
that'll
think
stand out, I suppose.
there's in our T's and C's, we say, look, we're going to take this challenge seriously.
Yeah.
If we feel like you're not pulling your weight, and I mean, we will give you as many chances, but if we feel like you're not pulling your weight, then we will stop your coaching. Because at the end of the day, you've signed up to be coached by us.
Yeah.
If you're not doing what we're telling you to do, and we see like you purposely like just ignoring it, then we will stop it. And I think that puts the fear of God in people, and they're like, I'm not going to mess up because they're going to cancel my coaching. And honestly, I think you've got to, your clients have got to have that respect for you, that they are paying you for a service, and you can't just be like, oh yeah, that's fine, don't worry, we'll try better next week. You've got to tell them straight, and that's what they want. Otherwise, they're not going to get the results that they want.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, we've had a few people sign up, and they actually said, like, I signed up because I know so and so who you cancelled their coaching with because they weren't sticking to things properly and all that. And like, I just realized this guy is serious. He's not just looking for my money. He is looking for the best out of me. And then because of that, I will stick to what you're saying. So
Yeah.
it does work.
I
Yeah.
think it's a great line to take, and arguably, what is happening is they are representing you as well.
Absolutely.
So that
Yeah,
you can,
100%.
Absolutely.
if you get a bad testimonial, it's not going to look great for the brand.
No, exactly. You don't want someone going, oh, well, I didn't get the best results, because they don't tell a full story. They won't say, oh, well, I did this, this, and this. They'll just say, oh, I went with that person. I didn't get amazing results.
Yeah.
You've actually got to buy into everything your coach is telling you.
Absolutely. So, as part of your journey as fitness professionals, developing from in-person PTs to hybrid and predominantly online, am I right in saying it's predominantly online now?
I'm probably about 50-50.
50-50.
Jonathan is mainly online, yeah.
Okay. What was there a moment in time as part of your evolution where you thought, I'm gonna go harder now on the online coaching? Or was it more of an organic journey for you?
I think for me, a lot of it came after all the lockdowns.
Yeah.
And just going back to it, it was a bit of a funny vibe getting back into the gym with it was almost like starting
the world was a bit upside down.
Scratch. And I find, as far as people who sign up for in-person PT, I don't find in-person PT as rewarding as the online coaching. I think it's a better journey with someone for the online coaching. I think in-person PT is kind of people that really won't stick to something unless they're actually there in person with you. And at the end of the day, you're going to see this person once or twice a week. So what are you really going to get out of it with them? And I think I did just start realizing, like, I am getting so much more out of my clients online. It's such a better way of communicating with them. Also in person PT, you just end up having banter with these people. And I think they might end up taking you less serious as a coach as well, when it is just that in-person kind of banter kind of relationship that you build with them. But online, I think just, pushing it more, just realizing these amazing results I'm getting from people were predominantly my online clients. And I think it just became a bit easier to make a decision, right? I can actually cut back on the in-person training and focus more on developing these people I've got, which meant, catching up with people more often during the week, scattering my check-in days throughout the week as well, so I can actually focus on better feedback with people. I think switching it to a monthly payment structure as well and pushing it more as lifestyle coaching was a massive thing that helped with it too. We don't like selling the 12-week transfer. Here and there, we'll do maybe an 8-week promotion or a 12-week transformation promotion. But once we started pushing more of lifestyle coaching, we just realized that people are a lot more interested in that. They stayed on for longer. And just naturally realizing we didn't have to dedicate so much time to the in-person training and just kind of faded out. It wasn't necessarily a decision we made there and then to do it. It just kind of worked out in that way for us.
And I think there were a lot of lessons off the back of the pandemic, wasn't it? And arguably that was, one of the benefits was you were looking at maybe applying subscription services. You got continuity of income coming into your business.
And during that time as well, during the lockdowns, we were getting a lot of online clients then signing up, helping people with home workouts and all that. I suppose we kind of like honed our craft a little bit more during the lockdowns on, how to get more out of people that way. So I think as bad as it was as a
blessing in disguise.
Massive setback and everything. I think at least a couple of good things for us came out of it, I guess. Yeah.
And same for you, Lee-Ann. Was it always the plan to do online coaching?
No, not at all. So I started in Simply Gym as well with you. And literally, I think I was there maybe 2 or 3 months. It was not very long. And then the pandemic hit and I was left without a job. I didn't qualify for any of the grants because I wasn't in the job for long enough. So I was sitting there going, how am I going to bring money in now? I've got nothing. So this is how I made my business. I then started advertising online, started Facebook. There's a park around the corner. I said, come, I'll train you in the park, because no one could get in the gym. So I was training people in the park. Then I opened my own little home gym. Said, come and train in my home gym. And then eventually the gyms opened. So I was working then between the two, the home gym and the Simply Gym. And then I found a lot more people wanted to do the home gym because my clients were the girls that were terrified of the gym. They did not want to step foot in the, if there was a girl session, maybe they'd go to the gym, but they were terrified of the gym. So coming to my home gym was like that little in-between gap.
Nice.
They could come to the gym, they could learn all their techniques, like how to do their squats, how to do their lunges, get a bit more familiar with technique and stuff, and then eventually get the confidence to join a gym. So, and that's how I grow my business. It's literally, I think the pandemic for me was a massive blessing in disguise. And I've still got those girls coming. And then it's a fact of, they'll start with me in the home gym and then they're like, okay, maybe I'm ready now for the big gym, Then I'll send them a gym plan and then they go and try all the different things.
That's a lovely lesson, actually. And I think as a sector, we need to understand that more within health and fitness, that we've on average hit between 13 and 15% of the population in the UK use a gym facility. But we know there's a massive number who are obese and sitting at home and are living sedentary lifestyles. And we don't really target that audience because there's not really a system where there's a stepping stone into going to your big gym, which can be a real point of anxiety for someone who's fresh on their journey. But you found that adoption
style and really helped. Just giving them home workouts to start off with, making my clients send me videos. So even with the online, if I can't train them in the gym, we make them send us videos of their technique and what they're doing. And that's how we PT them. We'll be like, right, okay, so you need to try it better this time. Maybe your tempo's too fast or whatever. And that's how we can PT them without actually being in the gym with them as well. So,
Amazing. And like you said earlier, this breaks down all your geographical boundaries. So as well as working with your local community, you can reach an international community with your services.
Yeah.
How far does that stretch?
Couple in the USA.
Yeah.
Nice.
Australia, South Africa, obviously in South Africa. But as far as that, isn't it?
And the thing is, it is quite challenging doing people from overseas because we know, not just that. No. When we build our plans, we know Nando's sells this, this, and this. Right. We know the calories down to, but if they're from like a completely different country, you've got to go to like their Walgreens and like look what the equivalent is, so it takes a lot more time and effort.
Okay.
Well, it's easier now than it used to be. I think the way some things have come out now, some of the apps and all that, but back then.
Oh my gosh, it was like.
Yeah.
They can run, but they can't hide. It's one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard.
That's amazing. And from my perspective, like seeing you evolve your brand, RAD Fitness, it's become a go-to, a well-known brand now within the local area, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I know we've got a common industry friend, Chris, at Bailey
Yes.
Images. You guys went and had a photo shoot. Was it last year or year before?
Yeah,
Last year, yeah.
Last year?
Yeah,
I
September,
think,
yeah.
Okay. And I assume that was to elevate your brand and to bring it to life and to showcase the dedication you guys put in on a personal level that your clients get the benefit from as well.
Yeah, I think as coaches, it's nice to show our clients we can diet down if we we can walk the walk the same as we ask you to do it.
Nice.
And because we don't compete, I mean, competing is just a whole different ball game. When you've got a family, it's a completely we don't have the capacity to do competing. But doing a photo shoot is just as good. You know, you've got a 16-week prep. You get into amazing shape you're going through the same sort of struggles that your clients are. So you know exactly what points to say, look, I know exactly how you feel. Do this. This is going to help. And so, yeah, it's also like obviously for content as well. But it's to show that we can walk the walk just as much as we ask you to do it.
Absolutely. Do you think it's important for budding online coaches and personal trainers to have professional sort of photography and go down that route?
I think so, yeah. It makes it a nice target as well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, something, at the end of the day, a coach is just a person as well. We get the same food cravings as our clients do, you know. So I think it's good to set a target for yourself, work towards a photo shoot like that, go through the dieting phase, and again, you know, learn, as you said, walk the walk for them a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, yeah, you know, it's nice to have that finish line there, that photo shoot to work for. You want to look kind of like almost superhuman, isn't it? I think Chris like just
knows
top
how
of
to
his
do
game,
that,
isn't it? Yeah. Like I almost felt like we were like too small time to do something like Chris Bailey photo shoot, but I think he made us look pretty good. Yeah.
It's really cool what they do there because you know, my limited knowledge, they kind of do group days as well, don't they?
Yeah.
So they'll bring lots of PTs or lots of people who have this goal in mind of looking and feeling the best.
Yeah.
And they want to capture it. They want to capture the moment. So it's really cool what he does there.
Yeah, it was mad because I saw the pictures before Lee-Ann was showing me. Like, I never really follow things like that. You know, I'm a bit kind of like laid back when it comes to the fitness stuff. Don't even follow that many fitness people myself, you know. But she was showing them to me. I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to do any of this stuff. You know, it just looks so next level. But
when you see the photos, you're like,
get in his studio. He's so chilled
good.
out. He's so chilled out. Yeah, he was such a cool guy.
Yeah. The co-owner of your PT, Aaron, he did one a few years ago, and in phenomenal condition got himself into, and he ended up printing a calendar and giving it to all his family members. It's quite nice for Christmas gifts as well.
That's next, yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so the next part is acquiring clients. So it's easy in a gym. You're in an environment where you're around like-minded people, and you can assume that they've got a goal that they're aspiring to reach. So you'll you'll communicate, you'll offer your solutions, and that's the function in a gym facility. In the online coaching world, have you found that you've had to diversify your tactics to reach the kind of audience that you're looking to attract, the sort of clientele that you're aiming for?
So social media has obviously been a massive thing, you know, and especially now. And in a way, it's gone. I don't like using social media much myself, you know. In a way, I feel, like I say, I feel really blessed. I think I got in at the right time, built up my client base, got the kind of results I was getting, and a lot of that does the work for me. But I think Lee-Ann is really good with her posting. You know, she's constantly on it, and yeah, I think my main advice these days for anyone would be, any sort of new coach who's trying to get into the online coaching, is don't necessarily just dive in and say, right, so I'm now offering coaching and so on. You know, first build up their clientele, offer some coaching for free, some online coaching with your mates and all that. I remember when I started PTing, I didn't jump into the online stuff straight away. I didn't feel really confident in it. It was one thing training someone in person. It's another thing sending a diet to them and then sending them off into the world and just hoping for the best every time they check in with you, you know, like trying to figure out how to like communicate what they need to be doing, you know, as an online client. But like Big Al Jones, Alan Fear Jones, he came up to me, you know, he's in the gym, in amazing shape, just next level shape. He came up to me in the gym, asked me if I'd do some online coaching for him. I hadn't even started doing it then.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. You know, it's not much. I was like, bro, like no charge, right? Like, you know, and then from that, and then you look at a guy like him, you think, all right, this guy is in phenomenal shape. How am I going to, you know, you like doubt yourself a little bit, like, how am I going to get this guy to look any better than he does now? But so he was like my first online coach, online client. And it just worked. It was just amazing. He got into next level shape. As soon as that went up, that's just when the clients for online just started flooding in. So I think that would just be my advice, is just, you know, learn your craft, you know, learn how to really actually help someone take their physique from one level to the next. Get it up there, advertise. So, I mean, I've got 2 Instagram pages. My main one, which is me on it as well. And then I've got my transformation page, and a lot of business comes from that one. So yeah, I think it is just a case of, you know, offer your services for free at first, you know, like have your job, you know, have your security there to earn your living.
Yeah.
If you want to become a coach, then don't just jump in, expect people to be jumping in, paying fees and all that, you know, like just get a couple of buddies, help them through it, get it up there, and the rest should take care of itself then.
Have some authentic testimonials, build your bank up. Don't pinch other people's.
No.
Does that happen?
But you can't really.
I suppose you can't really avoid it. You know, I've had people work with me and then they say they'll be back, you know, like amazing. And then you see there was someone else. It just is what it is. I've been with a few different coaches myself. Sometimes you just want to get a different perspective from someone, you know. So
100%.
yeah, otherwise we've had people that have just been with us for I don't even know how long, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, just.
So building your online presence, is there a consideration towards paid advertising? Is that an angle that you take?
We don't.
We've never done it ourselves, no.
Something we just don't really.
I don't know, like, never really think about it. Was at one point, I mean, at one point we did have like an online manager, you know, to help us with it. But, you know, it was just like, right, you guys got to post. It wasn't
authentic. Yeah, we just not those kind of people, you know.
You got to post twice every day. I was like, what, 2 stories every day? Like, no, 2 posts and 10 stories. I was like, bud, like,
that's not
I got absolutely no chance, man. 1, I haven't got the time for it. 2, I don't like doing it, you know. So, and I think you do find there's a lot of coaches, I think, fair play to them, you know, because it's not easy, you know, to build content takes a lot of time, you know, just film yourself in the kitchen talking to the camera. You know, we'll see them at one point talking. They probably did about 20 takes of that, you know.
Yes,
so to actually be like editing stuff on CapCuts and all that, and then doing all these stories, like my hat's off to them, you know. But for us, you know, 1, we need time for each other. 2, we need time for our kids. 2, we have got a big client base to look after as it is.
Yeah.
So, that kind of...
it just doesn't suit us.
I think, saying that now, maybe paid advertising.
Well, I love your honesty. I love your honesty, because I think a lot of coaches come into the sector and they think, oh, you know, I need to throw a lot of budget, you know, to social media spend or whatever it might be. And the reality is you've done it organically, which is quite a nice way of doing it.
Yeah. I see loads of coaches. They'll be like, right, I got 3 spots left this month now. Send me the word, and we'll sign you up. I'm like, you don't have 3 spots left. I don't like that kind of stuff. Like, just tell people what you're offering, and you know, they'll see your product, and you know, I can't do the whole call to action and all the, you know, the salesy stuff. It's just, I think organic is the best way. Yeah. Because they want to sign up with you because they want those results. Yeah. You know.
And because if we're talking candidly, there seems to have been a massive uptick in like gurus.
That's insane.
Online as well.
It's absolutely insane.
And you look at it sometimes. Do you think you're a failed personal trainer in your own right? So
now you're going to try and get other people.
A lot of what I see is guys, they're not even in shape themselves, and they're like, I will teach you how to take your clients from 10 to 250. They've got their gurus that teach them how to teach you to like raise. That's just it just becomes messy. I think fitness on social media has become a bit of a laughing stock at the moment. You know, it's sad to see. This is why I just say I think we are quite blessed that we got him when we did. Yeah. On top of that, I think we are just that little bit more authentic as well. We're a bit more straightforward with our things, you know. And again, we get the results. You know, we've learned, you know, we know what we're doing going on there. And
and all the outside stuff, you know, if people are making a joke of themselves, that's their problem. We can only control what we can control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seems to be a lot of rage bait now. Have you seen it? It seems to be guys who've like not really built physique yet, and then they're just saying like things that just make like people angry at the they say some sort of like nonsense like this is the only way you should be building a chest, and then all it does is makes people like, right, that's wrong, flood their comments, and that's how they're building the algorithm. So it's rage bait more than anything now.
It's definitely not healthy, and I think my hope is that we can tidy up like social media content for the better, because what I also consider as well is a lot of young individuals who are quite impressionable looking at this stuff and thinking that is right. So it's refreshing that again you're putting out.
It has its benefits in a way, I suppose, because nothing I have noticed is that a lot of the youngsters that are getting into fitness now, they know how to train, so, and they've learned that through social media. It's like I mentioned, like Flex Magazine earlier. For us, we were all like just doing, we didn't know how to train, like tempo, things like that, all out the window. We were just trying to bench as much as we can. I see these guys now, they're like 20 years old, and they're training like pros. I'm like, oh my God, you see them loading, they're strong as well. So yeah, we've got some like young coaches coming up just in Swansea, like, Fraz Physiques, Johan Physiques. These guys look insane, and they're just like in their early 20s, know just as much as like a lot of the guys who've been in this for years and years. And I think that has come from the popularity of like fitness on social media. So the benefits are there, but as you say, there's a dark side to it as well, isn't it?
And people are consuming information differently these days. So why not use it as a vessel to get good information and build your knowledge base?
Yeah.
Funny thing, I was talking to SIMSPA this morning, who are the governing body for personal trainers in the UK. And we were talking about mapping, so how you can build your expertise to map into the framework of SIMSPA. So as well as doing your formal qualifications, level 2, level 3, there are other ways to build knowledge and competency within the industry. We just don't recognize it yet.
Yeah.
So I think having that flexibility creates the pathways for, the individuals that you're working with there, Jon, to actually become authentic coaches in their own right, further down the line. And make the pathway into the industry a lot easier. There's a lot to be said for that. This is quite a broad question. What's the future hold for online coaching in your experience?
What, for us or for in general?
General.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's...
Well, what's it now? They got the that AI stuff coming out. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's mad.
That's insane. I've only heard about it. I haven't seen it. But like, it's like a screen or something, and it'll actually PT you. Like if you're doing a bicep curl, it'll actually like tell you how you're doing it wrong and all that. That's mad. So I think as far as there's a few things that I think AI is just going to wipe everything away from, Our son is just like the most amazing artist. Everyone's telling me he needs to go into art. It's like, bro, it's on its way. There's, you've got AI doing movie posters, writing movie scripts and stuff now. Like there's no, like, there's nothing you can do. So I don't know. It might be some AI PTs, isn't it?
You could take that stance though with coaching, can you? So you can ask it like ChatGPT, use a basic example to write a training plan, and it will write an okay training plan, but you haven't got that person and accountability on the other side.
You need someone that you respect and you do not want to disappoint at the end of the day.
Yeah.
When we've both had coaches and we know our check-ins, when we have to check in with our coach, we're like the night before, you're like, oh my God, I hope I done what and then when you do your check-in, you feel really good that you've done that for your coach as well as yourself.
Yes.
And I think having that is obviously having someone to be accountable to. Having AI, you're never going to get that.
Her answer's better than mine.
But using AI and this evolving technology that we've got access to, it's a blessing really, because we can streamline like admin tasks and things of that nature that can be quite laborious. So if you can use it and harness it to make your business more streamlined, then it can be a really powerful tool. But it's probably the obvious answer at this moment in time. AI. Amazing. And for the future of RAD Fit. So RAD Fit or RAD Fitness?
RAD Fitness.
RAD Fitness. So where are you guys taking this? So I've had the pleasure of seeing this evolve in the last 8 years essentially. What's the Everest for you guys?
It's weird, isn't it?
Like take one day.
I tell you what, even sitting down now and talking to you is just kind of like God, like things we're talking about, like that just seems like
Yeah.
it could have been yesterday, but when we realize how much the business has actually evolved from there, how far we actually have come, like I could have never thought in a million years when I sat down with you and, about becoming a PT in the gym that now I get to sit here, like just being an online coach. I mean, it's the dream for, I think, any personal trainer to take their business to that point where they can just do it as online coaching. So I don't know what the next thing was. People hassling us all the time to open up a gym, which
that would be a big one for me. Especially a girls only gym. Yeah. I think in Swansea it would do amazing.
What would be your dream gym?
Yeah, so just a girls only.
Okay.
Just like nice, pretty. Girls go in. It's just nice atmosphere.
Yeah.
I think that would be my dream one day to have. But yeah, who knows?
You guys can do it. Every faith in that happening. Listen, this has been amazing today. Thank you so much for your insight.
Thank you.
Thanks, James.
It's been a pleasure hosting you. I think there's a ton of value in there for a listener's perspective.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think I just.
And I mean, if people have got questions, where can people find you if they're listening to the podcast?
Just Instagram's probably the best place. Yeah.
Easiest, yeah. RAD Fitness, RAD Fitness. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, very easy.
You're the creative mind, I can tell you. But once again, it's been an absolute pleasure hosting you. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
Look forward to what the future holds.
Thanks, big man.
And I'm sure we'll do this again soon.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Hey. Over there. You can relax now, mate.
Oh my God.